And we are back at
the ranch.
where music meets the soul. And today we have Kevin Wachs, and which I did spell your name wrong, and it's pronounced Waxs, right?
Pronounced wax, just like
and then, but it's
wax
spelled,
or surf wax or
yeah. So, but it's
WACHS.
Really, but that helps you immensely because how many people are with that name?
Not too many. Funny enough, there's actually another Kevin Wachs in the world.
Really?
No, we're in Pennsylvania. We became Facebook friends.
Oh, really? There's
Yeah,
another
some young
Lance
guy.
Sterling in the world, but he's in jail now for child molestation.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
And you told me there's another Lauri Reimer in the world.
In Germany.
In Germany.
Really?
My younger sister.
Yeah.
That is
Lauri Reimer.
That
same
is very
spelling,
German.
O-E, the whole thing.
Yeah.
She found me.
Really?
Yeah. I found my friend Kevin Wachs.
It's
He's a
funny
20-something
because
guy.
when they did the Spies in Disguise movie, I owned the internet as Lance Sterling, and then all of a sudden Spies in Disguise bought every category, and I was just bumped down. Now I made it back up to the top again.
Good.
But when you
Good.
Google me, it came up with Spies in Disguise.
Good. Got to work on that SEO.
Yeah. So we already talked about the solar because I had originally asked you, but in general, now you do a lot of different things. You have Earthly Beauty or Earthly Body.
Right.
You do the Get Together Foundation is how I know you.
Get Together Foundation, right?
And then now you're telling me you have a third company?
We've Cellar magazine.
Right. So
We've had Cellar magazine for 10 years.
and is it actually a physical magazine?
No, just only online.
Okay.
We've had enormous success. A lot of A-listers donning our covers, doing interviews for us. We have 100,000 subscribers. We email to every day.
Wow.
And when I retired from Earthly Body, which was a couple of years ago, one of my goals was to put more time into making Cellar magazine more of a successful entity.
Or did you do it as a passion because you're a drummer, or did you do it to make money?
Not to make money. It doesn't make money. So maybe not a passion as a drummer, but certainly a passion because I love music.
It's funny because
And,
prior to the
yeah.
pandemic, I would say I did everything. The root cause was, to turn a profit.
Yeah.
After the pandemic, you know what? I have all my employees, and I feel obligated to them to really push forward.
I think also you get to a certain point in your age. If you're blessed like I am, the money becomes secondary. You've got to be happy. You've got to do what brings you joy. You've got to wake up every day excited about what you're doing. Yeah, making money is fun. It's certainly.
Well, your kids are involved. One is involved with the nonprofit, and one is involved with the manufacturing.
Yeah,
right?
they're involved. One lives across the country. So.
Wow.
However, the last charity show we did, he's in a band. He's a drummer. We flew his band in from Gainesville, Florida, to perform at our competitor show at the Orpheum Theater, and competitor viewers. But a nice theater, nice people there. We did a charity event
This
there.
is the way I look at it. Anybody who's an independent is my compadre.
Absolutely.
It's these megala corporations that just literally, I don't know, like if the bigger corporations, we all know who they are they doing it to run you out of business? It's weird because I realize like Live Nation isn't allowed to buy me. No one's allowed to buy me because everybody's considered a monopoly, and yet I'm the one that gets punished because they're a monopoly. Because they're allowed to say to somebody, I'm going to book 500 concerts and you can't play any other venue.
Right. And if I may say, the concert goer gets punished as well.
True. Because really, when I say I pay for talent, I don't ever pay for talent. If I'm paying for talent, that means it's a complete failure.
Correct.
It's the patrons that are playing. And that's what I always felt bad about Taylor Swift, because long time ago, she used to have her private booth up here when she lived in Calabasas before she was famous. And I always felt like people buying tickets for $1,200 was just wrong. Hence, that was the reason we came up with 7227, which is for the first 72 hours of any show that goes on sale, we sell the tickets for $27.
It's great.
And now we're in a fight with Access because they want us to sell them for $22 so they can make their cut off of it.
Right.
I'm like,
Right.
wait a
Same
minute.
concept behind, here comes my plug, our show for Sunday, Soft Rock Sunday. We made the ticket price really, really low. I think it's $35. Same exact reason.
Right.
You can get me started on, it's very difficult out there for a lot of people.
Well, it's funny because when I
money's
was at a
tight.
House of Blues, and I can see this, when the economy's good, people get ridiculous with the ticket pricing because it's about exclusive. When the economy's bad, it boils back down to everybody waits to the last minute. And I think Live Nation called it Blue Dot Fever. No, that's not what it is. Your
Right.
tickets are too high.
Yeah.
And I don't want to buy them. So that's where I came up with, why don't we just sell the first, regardless. If you want standing, it's $27, or if you want the best seat in the house, $27.
Yeah.
Because what I realized is my marketing is the fans.
Yeah.
The
That's smart.
fans telling each other.
Yep, it's smart. When you figure, I have a Tesla, so I don't pay for gas, but Lauri pays for gas. Most people I know
Half.
pay for gas.
I pay half for gas.
Right? Yeah.
You pay
I have
half
a
for-
hybrid.
Yeah, that's right. But nevertheless, if you pay for gas and you're planning a night out and you're buying 2 tickets and if you have to spend $150 a ticket, that's an
Right.
expensive night
Yeah.
for most people.
Isn't that funny?
Especially if
Because
it's
And almost an
not a weekend.
unaffordable night.
I was
for most
telling
people.
my crew this. The venue gets blamed for the ticket, the food and beverage, everything. Because when I leave a place, I go, oh, I spent $213 for 2 people to eat dinner. And I included tax, I included the tip, I included everything because all I care about, that's the overall expense. Lauri, what do you do? I take it you're with the Get Together
I do
Foundation?
many things. I work for Kevin with
Jack of all trades.
the Tribe, on and off stage with the Tribe.
The
and
Tribe is a band, right?
The Tribe
Tribe's
is our
the band.
collective that you've seen play here many
Right.
times. And I also am the program director for the Get Together Foundation.
Wow.
So our main,
So you're the one that decides all the fun, different events that we do.
as far as what goes on here.
Yeah, because I was going to ask you about that. How did you come up with? Because what people don't realize, what I do, I have to make up stuff, and so with Boogie Nights, Spasmatics,
Oh, right.
I have to make
Oh,
up
we can
the
help you
event.
with that. That's easy.
You're good at that.
But I mean, every year we've been coming here every year for our Get Together annual event, the
Right.
summer event, which is right before July 4th. And there are different themes that we do, and we bring in different celebrity talent when we can and they're available. This year we came in with the 4-piece string section,
Right.
and we did the Beatles show, and last year we did the Brian Wilson Beach Boys show. So we've had a lot of cool themes, and Kevin did his 50-year anniversary for his band before that.
Really,
It's
and
my
original
high
band.
school band,
your what was your high school band called?
Pacific.
Pacific.
That surfing sound. We were one of the original surf bands back in the day.
And how great is it that you work with your kids?
It's great.
Yeah.
I am a huge honor your mother and father guy, and with that said, a big family guy. I love the fact that our family gets along. Working together sometimes,
Is there husbands and wives involved now?
Well, a little bit.
Steph was part of the Get Together
Steph, yeah,
Foundation
the
till the
older
kids
son's
came.
married, the parents of my grandkids, which is wonderful.
Wow.
The
How
younger
many
one is
grandkids
not.
you have?
We have two, and I just left the Chargers training camp this morning, watching my 4-year-old watch Justin Herbert throw the ball around, and it's just the best.
And did you know we do the Dallas Cowboys training camp? We do all the food and beverages for
No,
that.
I didn't know that.
In Oxnard. It just finished up.
Wow.
I'm excited because my son owns a restaurant in Park City, and we do football Sundays.
Yeah.
So
I was going to ask you about that with your background in football. Do you ever go to the training camps? But you obviously
I
do.
used to love doing
Yeah,
that.
it's fun.
But, I use football as a way to shut my brain off. And people don't realize that, like when you run businesses
Yeah,
in
it's a
California,
diversion, of course.
you're just attacked 24/7.
Yeah.
you need a break.
And
Yeah.
whether it's good, bad, or I don't care.
Yeah.
We do what we need to do to get stuff done.
Yep.
But when I coach football, my brain shuts off. You know what the most important thing is?
First
Is he
downs.
gonna? Yeah. Is he gonna? And I do
Kids,
special teams. And
Okay.
the funniest thing about
What does that mean?
Turnovers.
What
He's
is-
used the kicking and the receiving.
So people
Special
don't
teams.
realize special
Yeah.
teams. There's
Yeah.
famous offensive coordinators, defensive coordinators, but to be honest with you, Daryl Talavera and I do special teams. he is like a multimillionaire guy that owns all kinds of stuff. And we go down, and it's the way we give back. And I don't have a lot of interaction, but there's nothing better than interacting with a 13 to 17-year-old boy. Their brains are very different than everybody else's. You know, biologically, they are like competitive. They're, physical. And it's great to coach them because, it's relationships I've had for 20 and 30 years.
So quick story, my oldest son played at Chaminade, and you'll appreciate that. You know what he played?
What do you play?
Long snapper.
And he probably got a scholarship for it.
We looked into it. He was really good. He was more into baseball. His scholarship came.
I have a long snapper now.
Yeah.
That
yeah. You know what that means? Long snapper? I don't know.
It's when you do punts and field goals and stuff. These guys
it's a center.
can shoot a ball
at
I want to say 40 miles an hour straight back into the hands of someone. And
consistently.
Right. And our challenge in life is to do 1.2 seconds from snap to when he kicks it. And it's amazing when you see that and you realize we love playing teams that don't take special teams, because special teams will buy you 20 to 30 yards per special team play. Like kickoffs as special teams. I believe, not that I'm a cocky person, but I don't think people can kick to us because they won't kick off to us because we run it back for a touchdown, 2 out of 5 times.
So I'll even go one further to speak highly of special teams, especially in the pros. The worst pro team and the best pro team are not that much different. And games are won and lost. And this is also with business, too. Games are won and lost a lot of times with little things that are done better, maybe a little bit better snap, a little bit lower turnover rate, or whatever. And that's really where games are won and lost a lot of times. Everybody, it's the quarterback, it's the receiver. But, man, it's a lot of that. We talk about it being called away from the ball. What's going on away from the ball that wins and wins?
And do you carry this enthusiasm in when you're doing your companies and all of that stuff?
Do I?
That's his DNA.
It's
just fill in the blank what it is for today.
Yeah.
No, he's
because
like that.
Your mission statement, I loved it because it kept referring to walk the walk. And I love that because I think I want politicians, I want people in life just walk the walk.
Yeah, and there's so many who don't. It's so frustrating to hear the banter and then nothing behind it. And
and right now, with everybody just making us feel bad about ourselves is not good.
No,
I wish that they would stop doing that because at the end of the day, regardless who's in office, I want them to do well.
Agreed. Let me get this in because it's important on that topic. We played here July 3rd. We did the Beatles tribute with the orchestra. We took the money that we raised that night. That was July 3rd. That was, 5 weeks ago?
Right.
We did a camp up in Cellar, 80 homeless kids for a Union Rescue Mission. We put on a summer camp for them with the money that we raised here on July 3rd. Was that 4 weeks later?
Talk about putting it into action.
Yeah, talk about walking the walk.
I read
it was wonderful.
You don't pull salary. There's no overhead in the Get Together Foundation. And because when I was reviewing nonprofits, you see these people that have nonprofits that are getting $200,000-$300,000
That's more of the norm, I think.
I know, but isn't that bad?
And they work hard. I mean, a lot of people deserve to be paid. I don't care to take my wife, same thing. We take no money. And it sounds goofy and Pollyanna, but our reward is seeing those 80 kids.
Since I left House of Blues, I've never pulled a salary. I get left over if there's stuff left over. Years I do great, and it might go, since the pandemic, we've had to pay to work here.
Yeah.
So, I know that your beauty company portion of the revenue profits go toward funding the Get Together, and that's what made me research your overhead.
Yep.
And I love the fact that anybody who has no overhead, so you guarantee 100% of your outside contributions actually go to helping.
Well,
kids.
ticket sales when we do events.
Yeah.
There's expenses. Look, if
Yeah.
we get printing done, I don't ask the printer to print for free.
But you're not paying an accountant $100,000.
No,
No, it's
absolutely
more about
not.
supplies, like with the music program.
Yeah.
I have to
Right.
get instruments, I have to get strings, I have to get picks.
Does
I have
Guitar
to get-
Center help you?
They do.
Good.
Yeah, they do. They've been
because
great.
their foundation is pretty good.
We
I
actually
like
did
that.
an event together with them in May.
You did?
Yeah, down at the Orpheum Theater.
Yeah,
It
I think
was
they're mad at me. That's why you were down there. Because
No.
Just sometimes we go to a different neck of the woods.
oh
in
yeah,
LA, you
yeah,
know?
God forbid.
No, Guitar Center's great. They do some really good work with it's a similar kind of thing.
Like
They
explain
do-
to me, you said you did that homeless with the homeless kids. What? Because
The
to
summer
me,
camp?
yeah, because to me, people talk about that stuff, but
Sure.
I can tell you, individual kids that I have helped in their life through football, and I'm sure, like when you were doing that,
Sure.
you're changing kids' lives.
No doubt.
Absolutely.
Right.
So
No
there's
doubt.
two things. One is our ongoing music program, which we do in boys and girls clubs and like church-based after-school programs and camps. So that's ongoing, and I have teachers who go out and they teach or they do music experiences with the kids. If they don't want to practice, it's hard to do lessons on a weekly
Right.
basis, but some of them do. We've done guitar, we've done ukulele, we do percussion, all different experiences that they can do. But then Kevin's idea of doing the summer camp, he's talked about it for at least 2 years. And suddenly he spoke about it to one good friend that's connected with Union Rescue Mission, and she's like, I think I have the place that already has the kids.
Right.
So all we had to do is connect some teachers and set up programming, and so we were a group of us between teachers, volunteers, and the two companies.
You know, when I
It was
was young,
amazing.
what the summer camps were? YMCA camps.
Mine
Yeah.
too.
And
I
it's
loved
funny
it.
how
YMCA,
the
yeah, of
parents, my parents have no money, but they somehow cobbled together money to send me upstate
thing
They
New
with
kept
me.
York.
that cheap, just like Boys and Girls Clubs. They try to keep it cheap.
Same thing with us. I went to the same thing, YMCA camp. Loved
Yeah.
it. But we went. Now this is great because we were
And
able
were
to
you a
bring
We
midget?
brought it
the
to
camp.
them.
What's
Were
that?
you a midget? A
I
mighty,
think
mighty midget?
maybe so. I think so.
Everywhere we go,
yeah,
people want to know who we are.
Yeah, Mid
Well,
Valley
we did that one back
YMCA.
east too.
Exactly.
Well, I did it. It literally was up near my hometown, and everybody would come up from the city, and we love the city
Yeah.
people. They were amazed at fish. They were amazed at
So
bugs.
fun. Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, so the camp was my wife is a chef, so she of course brought in some of her or one particular chefing buddy of hers, and to serve as the sous chef.
I didn't
And
know
she-
your wife was a chef.
Yeah, full blown.
You know what I wanted to dream when I ran House of Blues? A lot of people don't realize these musicians are really good cooks.
Derek is a good story then.
That Derek, which is Mary's not her partner,
Derek
but one of her
Fox.
best friends. Derek Fox is what's the name of the show? A Master Chef. He was on Master Chef.
Oh, yeah.
And he was referred to as the rock and roll drumming chef.
Really?
And they're partners, and
He
they
totally
they
is.
do pop-ups together and
He's a
whatnot.
drummer.
And he uses the analogy of music and cooking. And my wife and I are always comparing. There's a lot of similarity to the creative method and.
Well,
and
believe it or
whatnot,
not,
so-
when we first opened the Canyon Clubs in House of Blues, food was a big part of it was bait and switch. You came to see the band, and I sold you food and beverage.
Right.
But with all of the things over the past 30 years that happened in California, you really can't make money off food. So what we've started doing is realizing we can promote all of the local restaurants. So if you come to the Canyon Club, we now have Basta, which is considered the best restaurant in Agora, and we have, we got 1, 2, 3, 4 Wood Ranch.
Right.
Because if you come before our event, if you go to Wood Ranch, because even when we feed people, we're lucky to feed 200-300 people.
Yeah.
But we hold 1,300.
Right.
That leaves 1,000 people going to all.
Yeah,
the
and it's really
restaurants.
hard to feed them, and even 200-300 is quite an achievement.
I used to run the Phoenician, and I remember we did an Reagan event, and we had 3,000 people we had to serve dinner to.
All at once.
And no, but people didn't realize we had 4 kitchens.
Right.
Yeah.
So the
Right.
food was coming out of 4 different
Oh,
kitchens.
it's crazy.
And I remember my job as food and beverage director was to make sure all that food looked the same.
Right. It's challenging. Believe me, I know.
Oh, it is.
And I mean,
because-
and to your credit, the food that you feed the band, which is wonderful, and the food's really good. here, and I'm a foodie, you know.
And the
so if it
funniest
wasn't
thing-
anything but
what is
really
your
good,
favorite food to eat? Now, the most expensive. What is your go-to?
my wife trained in Italy, so any kind of Italian pasta is my favorite food.
Do you make your own pasta? Does
She
make her
does.
own pasta?
She makes her own pasta from
Semolina,
scratch.
all
The
that?
whole, it's incredible.
I thought it was
Yeah.
that weird sushi thing that smells or something. What's
Oh,
up?
uni? Oh, I love uni, but that's a whole different.
I gave that to my wife once.
What,
She
uni?
threw up. Yeah.
Oh,
She was freaked out by it.
it's an acquired taste,
It
I
is,
suppose.
but you liked it. How did you meet your wife?
She worked next door to me when I was a starving musician working at my parents' beauty supply store.
Oh, so you had
was
some interest in beauty beforehand.
Somewhat, in that I worked at my parents' store because I needed to pay some bills, but starving musician was my main deal, and I was a starving musician. I wasn't making much in either case, and she was a manicurist 3 doors down.
That's crazy.
And,
so you met each other when you had nothing.
We had nothing.
You should tell.
We started from
You
nothing.
should tell Lance about your dad's story with the collecting all the stuff, how the business got started.
Well, it's a
It's so
long
interesting.
story,
Well, the
but it's
beauty business,
interesting.
the amazing thing about you and the story about you started it with your wife in your garage.
we did, but even before
Even before
then,
that, it's a
the
family
very
thing.
elevator version is that my dad got laid off deep into his life, maybe 40 years old. He was not asked to work graveyard. He was told he was going to be working graveyard.
Wow.
Different times, right?
Yeah.
And he couldn't hang with it. He had family at home. He tried for a couple weeks. He went to his boss and said, I can't do this anymore. And his boss showed him the doors. I'm sorry, Donnie, but it's graveyard or it's no yard. And he was unemployed and broke at 40 with 2 young kids. But they
And I
had...
can only, as a father, imagine the panic in my
Right.
body
And
because
back
I
in
don't
that
care
day-
about myself. But if you have children,
Yep.
Back in
Oh
that
my
day,
goodness,
it's your whole reputation.
no safety net.
Yeah.
Yep. But the good news is they were resourceful, and they had bought up salvage at the. He was working at a pharmaceutical place. They had sundries, shampoo, conditioner, shit like that, right? And they would buy up cases that were soiled that the company would just throw away because they didn't want to spend the time cleaning them. My parents would buy up the cases for pennies on the dollar,
Clean them up.
clean them up, take them out to the swap meet, and sell. That was the beginning of the beauty business. And when he got laid
And
off,
the beauty business has to be profitable because
everybody needs it.
I knew JP DeJoria
Okay.
when we ran House of Blues.
Right.
He was the one that said walk through the river. When they fired Isaac, we were all so upset.
Right.
Because there were people that kind of were happy that Isaac was gone because he was kind of crazy.
Yep.
But the majority of us, like that, bought into help ever, hurt never. Like all of these slogans that other people call slogans.
Right.
That was our life.
Right.
You know.
So my wife and Derek were auctioned off at a Union Rescue Mission event for a pop-up.
Really?
I think they went for like $15,000, 8-course meal, blah, blah, blah. And John Paul was one of the people at the...
JP?
yeah,
Yeah,
JP.
he's a good guy
Yeah,
because,
yeah.
you know, and for JP, all I have to say is this, leave it at the river. That changed my life.
Yeah.
You
yeah.
know,
Yeah.
because he was telling me, suck it up, Isaac's gone, go forward.
Yeah.
And then I ended up quitting anyway, starting my own company. But
Yeah, similar thing. Obviously not as big as John Paul Mitchell Systems, but we were
you
competitors.
know, he
of
lived in
theirs,
his
so-
car.
Yeah, he's got
I
a
am
story.
aware.
He's
Yeah.
got a major
That is
story.
a true
I am
story,
aware.
and he told
Yep.
me
Yeah,
all
he
that
does
story.
interviews and everything. I've
And I
watched
tell
them.
people, I think I'm very successful at my job because I have failed at every possible thing you could imagine.
Yep.
And
Yep.
I learned much more from failing
No question about
than
it.
I do from succeeding because when you succeed, you don't know what you did to make you succeed. You just did it.
And you appreciate it that much more.
Right. And when
you've
you
been to the
fail,
bottom.
you know, I'm not doing that again.
That's exactly right. Exactly.
So what are your key, like working with him? Is he a good manager or do you have to manage his stuff?
We kind of complement each other. He's a very brilliant idea person. I
And
mean,
then
like,
you're the executor.
if he gets sleep the next day, is like, okay, this and this and this is like, whoa, you know. And usually he throws me the play to carry it out, you know.
And she's the attention to detail
I'm
person, but I'm
constantly
not.
with details.
Neither am I. So I
Communication.
I'm a
with you great.
big picture person. She's the opposite. so
Except
that
when
we-
it comes to drumming and when it comes to football.
Right.
I'm not the attention. Where you have your feet, how you're set
Right,
up.
right,
You
right.
have to be exact.
Right. Exactly right.
Right.
Exactly. But it makes
drumming-
a good
but
team.
isn't it funny? Because I think about I'm a big Jimi Hendrix fan,
Mm-hmm.
and his big claim to fame is he didn't use the guitar the way other people did.
Right.
Right.
And he made
right.
stranger sounds, and I always look at that as my
Right. Not to
Because-
mention the upside down lefty version of
yeah
playing.
because I look at things when anybody gives throw up roadblocks for me. I always think there's got to be a way around it.
Right.
Just rethink it. And I see other people get so devastated.
Yeah.
You know, with the politics of what's going on, right, left, it doesn't matter. We just have to survive as a community and be nice to each
Absolutely.
See,
other.
we have the exact same mindset, and
The
she'll tell
entertainment
you,
business is so much that right now too.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
have to constantly pivot because, especially since COVID, like people aren't going out as much. They're not spending as much money. They don't want to drive because of gas. Like there are all these obstacles that we keep having to
Right.
figure out how to overcome and still keep this momentum alive.
But my mindset is always, well, let's find a way.
Yeah.
Well,
And we
Why
do.
not? Well, why not? Why can't
How
we?
do
Do?
you-
The worst thing you can say to me is we can't.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm sure you're the same way. It's like, well, we can't do that. It's like, well, of course we can. Why not?
Well, they said you and I would get along because I guess we're kind of the same. Because
Yeah.
if you tell me I can't, you just guaranteed
makes you
I'm going to
stronger.
do.
That's it. You got
and,
it.
And at the end of
That's
the day,
it. Exactly.
the concept that I get because your dad, you learned from your dad.
I did.
And I have to tell you, I learned because I had a great life growing up, but I was on my own when I was like 13. And because my parents got divorced, blah, 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 my dad moved down to his new, so I was there. But it made me so self-sufficient, and it made me realize that no one's going to look out for me. I was always excited because somewhere down deep inside, you're responsible for you.
I'm totally like that.
And the crazy
Yeah.
thing
Yep,
is,
she's like
I'm
that as
totally
well.
like that.
right?
You know
but
how many are not, though?
But you take that responsibility and apply it to all your
I do.
employees.
We both do. We all do.
So we'll be right back after these messages.
Not everybody's like that, though.
There's a lot of people that aren't like that.
think
Like I
most
always,
Have you
people are
noticed
not
that?
like
my favorite one is Jeff Bezos, because Jeff Bezos, people don't realize Amazon was a failed book-selling company.
Absolutely.
And when you live as old as we are, we see that he was just genius to pivot. And I pivot all the time. My wife told me the other day, I get so excited. I'm going to do this night where, like, my new thing is I want to do a dating game. I want to do a YouTube internet dating game.
Nice.
And if it doesn't work, I just turn left.
Right.
And I go to something else.
Right.
And usually that's when I come up with the best ideas.
Does this sound familiar?
Yeah, I mean, the important thing is that both of you, like, feel an idea and carry it out for whatever it's worth, and then you decide.
Well,
yes
I
or
have
no.
a person named Luann.
I know.
Right.
That Luann is
Precious.
the person.
L?
Precious,
Oh,
yes.
there we go.
Yeah,
Exactly.
because Luann's the one that, like, she has to listen to me rant. Like, she'll get the random 2:00 in the morning phone call.
At
I
least
was
you don't do
thinking
that,
of
Kev.
XYZ. Can you remind me? Because when I wake up, I won't remember any of it.
Right.
And then it will just go, and I have so many ideas, they just go by the wayside.
Right.
Now, I want to ask this. I got into the weird habit of writing journals all over the place. Not Fauci journals.
Okay.
I don't talk about how impressed I am with myself. My journals are ideas. And if you when I die, I told my wife, I said, please, you got to take these books and give them to the kids. And
That's
a lot
great.
of the podcasts I do for, this will last forever.
I have a question. My interview now. Here, give me the card. do you ever write comedy? And I'm very serious with the question.
It's funny
Do you ever
because
think about,
my
I've got some
favorite-
funny stuff, and bounce it off of your wife or whatever?
Yes.
I thought you might.
Because I told her, and I'm clear on this with social media, you need a catch. So I always thought, wouldn't it be funny? Remember they would do the commercials, the spoof commercials where they were talking about insurance and a big bolt of lightning comes down and
Yeah,
fries the
yeah,
guy.
yeah.
I wanted to do this one where this guy gets out of his car and relieving himself on the side of the road, but he forgets to put the car in park, and it starts rolling,
no.
and you see him running next to the car with the spray going all over the place. So, and my wife thinks my sense of humor is not appropriate.
But others might, though.
Yeah. Well, the problem is what's appropriate, what's not.
Yeah,
I
these
guess
days
is-
it
Depends where
just
you show
depends.
it.
But yeah,
So,
I love that.
like, when you're doing the nonprofit, do you work with mostly volunteers?
When we have events, they come. We need them
Really?
to run certain things. Like they help with registration, they help with check-in, they help with the auction.
And how do you find these volunteers? Are these older people, or are they people who
Sometimes,
are buying
yeah.
into
It's a mixture.
the
Yeah.
system?
A lot
Yeah.
of them are the same people that just feel connected to what we do.
Really?
Which is really nice. Like that's the community that I
And
love.
the great thing is when you have the Get Together Foundation, because you've had it. How many years has it been? It's been like 5
No,
to
more.
8 years, right?
We've been doing things here for 10, I think.
2001.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
problem always
Get together
is
since
yeah.
2001.
my wife accuses me exaggerating, so I would have said 25 years,
Yeah.
which is right.
Yeah, maybe so.
is
yeah.
25
It's a
years.
long,
The
long time.
501c3 happened, I think, in 2004.
Yeah, that
right.
sounds right. So
So we
So
did.
did you start it out first? This is a great
Last
idea.
year
You
we did
an
the
event?
anniversary here.
Yeah, we just
we
grew
did
it.
the big anniversary party here.
yeah, the first
20
event was a
years?
cut-a-thon actually.
The first event was what?
The first event we did was a cut-a-thon tied into beauty. It's where you
People
cut
came and
people's
got
hair.
haircuts for donations.
Yeah, yeah.
That's brilliant.
And they actually donate the hair too.
You know what my
to-
dream is, and you guys maybe can execute this. I want remember Tybo and all those.
Oh, yeah, of course,
workout-
sure, yeah, yeah.
I wanted to empty my building and do a big, you know, aerobics-a-thon.
Oh,
Or we could do a drumathon, DW Drum. Could you
Okay.
imagine?
Yeah.
My other thing that Dave and he books all of my talent, and we wanted to do the Battle of the Zeppelin bands,
oh,
That's
nice.
funny.
and no one would agree to it.
No, because the girl
Why?
one is going to win.
I know, but it's like everybody. It's just like, can you explain what's your favorite band ever?
Mine, probably the Beach Boys.
Yeah. So when you look at that, and like, it's hard because you've seen how many different iterations of the Beach Boys, you know,
Yep.
and
Yep.
and when you look at the different iterations of Beach Boys, do you have a favorite or a worse, or you just love them all?
When I first started really become a musician, it's another long story about how our band was, in fact, the second coming of surf bands when the Beach Boys had pretty much retired from live because Brian retired.
Right.
And this
Did
is
you know
in-
I did Ryan's wedding?
Oh, you're kidding?
At the Lowe's Hotel.
Oh, wow.
How appropriate. Born in Woodstock, did the Beach Boys wedding.
Wow.
And I used to try to.
Because I know
break
you're
into
friends with
Todd
Carney
Rundgren.
as we are, and I assume that was. Did you meet her that night?
Carney? No, it's great.
Okay.
I mean, I love, people. That's Wilson Phillips.
That's Wilson Phillips, right?
So
yeah.
a lot of people didn't realize.
They
that-
played here so many times.
And like
Wilson
Mary
Phillips.
saw her mom up on my God wall, and I could see her like start to cry, and I felt, oh my God, that made me feel so good.
Well, with the event we did here last year was with Carney and the whole family, Marilyn,
Right.
Brian's
Three
ex-wife.
generations and the
three
kids.
generations. Yeah, so we're obviously really connected with
Yeah.
them. But getting back to when we started, my favorite Beach Boys version was that version. Blondie Chaplin and Ricky Fattar, Dennis Wilson being the drummer, of course. I mean, he was my guy. Brian wasn't anywhere to be seen. He was holed up in his bedroom.
Yeah.
And I love that version of the Beach Boys. And then when we played here,
Who's
I
the
guess
famous guy that keeps drumming for them?
now?
Yeah, he's a celebrity.
Oh, John Stamos.
John Stamos.
Yeah.
You know he did his birthday
Yeah,
party here.
yeah,
but he
yeah.
always comes out and plays guitar now, I see.
Yeah.
Is it guitar,
he's
not
in and
drumming?
out
He's
a
out
little
front.
bit. Yeah. Yeah.
I wish they gave me a guitar. I am so bad at it.
I was going to ask you if you played anything.
Look at these
Wow,
nasty
you
stumps. No, I own like 3,000 guitars, but
Yeah.
I don't play anything. I think if I did play, it would be a drummer.
Okay. It's not too late.
And believe it or not, I can sing a little bit.
Okay.
But Dean Martin types.
Okay.
So
That's
you
good.
don't understand what you just did. By just telling him that, he's going to put you in our next show.
I can sing.
Everybody loves somebody sometime.
My favorite song ever that my kids all enjoy, were "If I Was a Rich Man."
Oh.
If I was a
Well,
rich
we
man.
are doing a
Yeah,
Broadway
dear,
show.
dear, 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 dear,
We
dear.
are
Okay.
doing a Broadway show.
Are you?
Yeah.
My wife is producing Midnight on Broadway right now, and it's crazy to see that happen. because
So-
I didn't know what a producer does.
So
Don't
when
be
you
a
were
producer.
talking about dueling Led Zeppelins and,
Right.
and doing whatever else here, I was saying that I would love to see more theater here, because we've really started to get
Well,
into.
we did Annie Get Your Gun, Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor
I know you did. I
Dreamcoat.
like to see more of that. Big theater fans. And
I
we-
was,
you know,
I really wanted. I know that Neil and Pat did theirs on Broadway.
Okay.
But it's weird because people want to be on Broadway. I believed it
No, they're
belonged
touring
here.
concert
Right.
now.
And if you ever want to do a Broadway play and write a Broadway play,
well, we have one that we've been doing. We did with Mickey Dolenz and Rob Morrow. We did at the Colony Theater last.
I really
March.
wanted to do.
So just
the
to be
music
clear,
one.
it's not really a play. It is kind of highlights of some famous songs from a lot of different shows, and then Kevin wrote these little, what do you call them? Little
segments.
monologues,
Yeah.
dialogues that.
But that's kind of
we
what
have
sh-
actors
It's like a
that come
hybrid
in.
kind of thing.
We
That's
have
the
actors
kind
come
of what
in.
shows are,
Yeah.
because when I first worked at House of Blues, I remember if they couldn't get a national talent, they went dark.
Yeah.
And that's how I met Dave Hewitt, because I'd say, there's got to be like a Queen band.
Right.
There's got to be a Beatles band.
Sure.
And we did the Fab Four. And then all of a sudden, Fab Four started getting $25,000 a show, which means I have to charge like $50 a ticket, because what people don't realize, I don't make money off the tickets. The band makes the money off the tickets.
Right, right.
And that's why I love the Foo Fighters and Dave Grohl so much, because they called us up and said, hey, we want to do a concert at your venue, but we want the tickets only to be 26. Are you in? And it probably cost me 20 grand, and it must have cost
Yeah.
them 50 grand
That's
to
what
do
you're
that
saying
show.
about Ed Sheeran too, right, Kev?
Ed Sheeran reminds me of that guy who does things because he's so passionate.
We saw him Saturday night at SoFi,
Yeah.
70,000 people, whatever. And I was looking up, how does he compare financially to Taylor Swift? And from what I read, he's not quite that way, because he tries to keep his prices really,
He
really
doesn't have any
affordable.
band members.
But
And no
there's a-
band, no band members.
But you have to realize that Cheap Trick used to do that too.
Yeah.
You couldn't book Cheap Trick or 38 Special unless you guaranteed. You remember the ticket price, Lou? Cheap Trick, you couldn't charge over $35 a ticket, right? And it was amazing. As much
Isn't
as
that nice?
Now, of course, they wanted all the money, but the issue was you realize, because when I were in House of Blues, the average person went to a House of Blues was 1.1 time a year, and then we had American Express do it for here. It's 15.5 times.
Wow.
It's the same people that come every month.
Right.
So we have to be careful if we make someone mad or something happens that they don't like.
Right, 'cause
We
that's-
lose 15 covers.
15
Right,
times,
right,
yeah.
right. Of
Oh, I get
course.
it.
Of course, makes sense.
So I
So
have
we
a que-
should do something theater-wise here.
And then
We'll
I have a
think of something.
question
Yeah.
about this big trend of tribute bands that's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. What's your take on it?
This is what happens. We're the ones that create the tribute bands. So when everybody got crazy and we were doing Styx, Foreigner, we were doing everybody here, we can get up to like $75,000 and still keep it a reasonably priced. But we just, Mac 10 just booked E40 for me for here. And it's amazing because all the R&B. So if you look at my lineup now, it's all nationals, but we fill in with the tributes. Because of what happened during the pandemic, people were getting paid crazy money.
Yeah.
Bands that were making 10 are asking for 50. Bands that were making 50 were asking for 200. And people had all this pandemic money from the government, and they were throwing money around like lunatics.
So they had to pay it back.
Well, the problem is the only people who have to pay it back, and this is self-centered. I just had to hire an accounting company for $30,000 to account for where all my money is from the pandemic. And the crazy thing is, my money wasn't even up for discussion, because any money I got from the pandemic, I had to pay the landlords. And they only gave me money for a year, and we were shut down for 20 months. So I had to stretch it out.
So what'd you do during that time?
I don't remember what, yeah. I mean, we
did
were
the
here, we
crazy-
remember you.
Yeah, the
I
crazy
know what we
thing.
did. We put on a telethon.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think I just stood outside and annoyed the health department and the building department. I'm the only human being that got a ticket because I found out that, you know what the definition of dancing in California is?
No.
If you move your hips more than 3 inches. Remember when they said that you couldn't do dancing?
No.
Oh, during the pandemic, they actually told us to.
Oh, wow.
And I got $5,000 in
Wow.
tickets because people were dancing. They fined me for dancing. They fined me for being, like, I didn't realize, like, they didn't account for, I have a 30,000 square foot building. They only let me have a maximum of 100
People
people.
were on social distancing.
Yeah.
Social
And
distancing.
and every now and then I see masks or I see the stickers on the floor that say 6 feet apart.
Right.
Our dance floor literally had stickers
Yeah.
6 foot apart
That's
that
insane.
when you were dancing you had to stay away from it. But that was at the end
But
of the
we lived
pandemic.
through it.
Yeah, it's amazing because I found out earlier that there was a Spanish flu and they went through the same thing. But the only people that locked anybody down were New York and Philadelphia. And I was dumbfounded that with all of that experience, we still made all the same mistakes.
Yeah.
But I don't know the answer.
No,
either.
nobody does.
Yeah, I was going to say because no
And
matter
is it
what
the last
you pick,
time it's going to happen? Probably not.
No.
yeah,
Gotta
I kind of.
figure.
But now I get nervous because if it happened again, you would do everything completely
Yeah,
different.
maybe
wouldn't
not
you?
in our
I
lifetime,
would
though.
maybe.
That's the-
you
Well,
know.
last time it was 1912.
1918, I think.
19 was Spanish flu was 1918.
I think so.
Yeah, but that's the last time it happened. And then what do we have?
Yeah, but
2020.
a very different world. In somebody who could be in China and whatever a flight later you're in LA.
And luckily, people
you
like
know.
us are healthy because we wallow in dirt, so we have very good immune systems.
Exactly. I like to wallow in dirt. That's
We
Well,
built up our
pastime of
antibodies.
ours, right?
I know, but
I believe
flashback,
it.
since you and I are close to the same age,
Yeah.
flashback in the 1970s, what comes to your mind? You know what comes to my mind? Streaking.
Oh,
Do you
Oh,
remember when
funny.
that
Sure.
was good, wholesome fun, right? How many naked guys did you see run across the baseball field and run across the football
we
field?
did. I was just telling somebody about this band I was telling you about, Pacific, did an assembly at Cleveland High School. And back in the day.
You know what we should do? Put this in the back of your head. We should do a spoof band of all the spoof songs.
So anyway, back in the day, when you were an A or a B student, you were rewarded by an assembly at the high school. I don't know if your high school did that, but I know every high school I know, and we were the band that played. And like a lot of the famous bands, The Doors, Strawberry Alarm Clock.
Do you remember
know.
Do you remember your teachers in high school?
Sure, but anyway, real quick, at that assembly there was a streaker,
Right.
and it was such a huge happening.
Did he
that
have
it
his
made the
underwear on his
newspaper.
head?
It was in the Daily News.
That's funny.
Streaker. They didn't have a picture
Did
of
they
the
ever
guy.
find out who it
But
was?
no, who knows? But
It wasn't me. I was in New York at the time.
But it was
Because-
like newsworthy for the newspaper.
Right?
The streaker at the
And my famous streaking
the Rock
event
and Roll
was
Assembly in Cleveland High School.
At halftime in football.
Oh yeah,
I
sure.
was the guard and the middle linebacker. So during halftime, I streaked through with underwear on my head.
Oh,
My
that's a nice
mom
ad,
knew
by the way.
exactly who I was. Like she could tell me running.
Was it like boxer underwear or more of like the
No,
the
back
Speedo?
then, remember boxers were, no one had boxer
No.
underwear. We had the tighty whities.
Tighty whities, right?
You know,
Yeah.
that was the Fruit of the Loom tighty
right.
whities.
Fruit of the Loom. Are they
Oh
still
my
around?
goodness
You wouldn't
gracious.
know. Is Fruit of the Loom still?
I don't know, and it's
Me
kind of
neither.
funny because, like, I have, like, what I wanted to talk to you about because you manufacture. So a lot of the ingredients you use are healthy. Have they changed the laws? Because it seems to me in the past year, everybody makes all kinds of like hair dye. Everybody makes all these claims, and I remember growing up, you weren't allowed to make claims unless you were proven.
It depends.
Yeah.
There's an OTC license that is administered by the federal government, and then the claims matter. If you are not OTC, our particular manufacturing plant is not. We could
Is
probably.
that what Mark Cuban keeps talking about on Shark Tank?
I'm not sure. Maybe.
Where you can't make those claims because he wouldn't
Correct.
invest in people.
Correct. If you say, as an example, we make a CBD line.
Right.
Okay, CBD that has no marijuana, that's not true, but no THC in it.
Right.
You can't get high. It's for pain relief. But we can't make that claim in print, even though I just made it to you, because it really does work. If you go out and play a round of golf and your elbows hurt.
Well, how do they get away with all this stuff on the TikTok and and X and they make crazy claims.
Yeah, because it's almost impossible to fully regulate.
Who comes after you?
It'd be the federal government. It'd be
Is it the FTC?
FTC, not the FTC, but the
FDA.
FDA would come after you and say you're making a claim.
I love
you
when they
can't
say alphabet
substantiate.
agencies.
Yeah,
You're like,
yeah, and more than likely it's never happened to us because we're smart enough to do the dance, do the workaround. We'll show a picture of somebody who's holding their elbow, and and our slogan on our line is "You'll feel better already." So it implies pain relief, but that could mean almost anything.
But like, I don't want to pick certain products, but like they have a product called Relief Factor, and I don't know how they make all those claims.
Well, Relief Factor, I think, is an OTC product.
Really? So they have proof that does
they
all
do,
that.
and they're using there's some lidocaine. It could be in there that numbs areas, and that can serve as a pain relief. There's certain ingredients that really do pain relief.
So it's called OTC?
Yeah, over the counter is the.
So that means that like Tylenol and all those guys are allowed to make
there's a
claims.
chemical in there, right? Right.
then they
Any
had
kind
to
of
get-
pharmaceutical
Don't
drug.
they had to go through a approval process. For
They
that.
do. They do.
So for every ad, you have to get an approval for it?
Well, not that
product.
as much, but to
product.
actually have the product come out in the market, there's a protocol you have to follow with testing and proven results.
So I'm
clinical
assuming
results.
I'm assuming based on knowing you, you're probably a supplement guy. Are you?
In a huge way.
Okay.
17,
because I'm
17 a day.
right. I'm a supplement guy too.
Yeah, we should compare a list of what I take.
Well,
yeah.
my new thing is flavonoids, and
Okay,
do
all right.
they work or do they
Okay.
don't work?
Yeah.
So the crazy thing when
Yeah.
you take all of these crazy supplements, you don't know which one's working
That's
because
right.
you said 17.
yeah.
I think I'm up to like 17, so I only introduce a new one, and then I'll do it for 2 weeks to see.
Yes.
But then
Same
the
exact
doctor
thing, by the
gives
way.
me medicine, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't want to take that.
I'm
Yeah.
the same way.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Like, but doctors used to tell me to do stuff, and I would blindly do whatever they told me to do. And as I
that's
get
all.
older,
Because that's how you're
Red yeast
trained.
rice. Do you know of it?
no, what does that
Okay. Do you have high cholesterol?
do? No,
Borderline? Not at all?
not at all.
Okay, so my wife actually has a heart condition, if you can believe it, and she's probably the most fit person I know. She's a gym rat. Her diet is like
Is it AFib?
no, but it's a hereditary bad heart thing,
Really?
and with big cholesterol numbers, and they wanted to put her on a statin, and she doesn't take an aspirin, let alone statins, and she refused. And she chose to take something called red yeast rice, and it actually lowered her number. It's a supplement.
Right.
And she asked her cardiologist about it, and he said, well, it's actually what's in the statin is that red.
It's the same stuff.
Same
Where it
thing.
comes from.
So why
you
can't
can
I
do it
just take?
naturally.
Yeah. Why can't I do that? Well, it's not really regulated. You don't know.
Yeah,
the
because I was kind of
quality.
freaked out because I didn't
Yeah.
know, because taking all these supplements, they openly claim stuff, and I think you can't do that. But the FDA doesn't have time to go after like
It's
3,000 people.
it's the exact same thing.
Is it really?
It's the same thing as with certain types of shampoo, or CBD cream that relieves pain.
Okay.
It's
So as I'm looking at
anecdotal,
your-
as they
as
say.
I'm looking at all your products level, the big thing for me is because you have beautiful hair and I have this. So they have all these different shampoos that say they're going to own hair. Is any of that's true?
Yeah, it is.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because they show pictures of Matthew McConaughey,
Yeah.
and then they show him now, and I think, you're right. How did his hair, and if he didn't have a hair transplant,
Yeah.
how did it regrow?
Yeah, no, there are products that are good for hair loss and hair restoration. We don't actually make any, but there are companies that do, and they work
So
absolutely.
what products you make? Because I know you make shampoo.
Yeah, shampoo, conditioner, lotion, CBD products for
Right.
pain. A lot of Bath and Body stuff.
Now the Bathsheba line.
And
Yeah.
who sells it? When you said you're into manufacturing, do you produce it and it comes out under different labels?
No. Oh, yes and no. We do private label, but for the most part, it's our label, but we're in several different categories. Not the least fun one is the adult business, which
Oh,
is...
really?
Yeah, very interesting part of our business. We make massage oils.
That's got to change everything because the massage business, the whole adult business,
Has changed
I
radically.
can't even imagine.
Yeah, in the
Because
last...
some of the richest people I knew when I opened the Canyon Club were doing all these movies.
Yeah.
Now, with the advent of the internet.
Yes, it's
I'm
completely
like,
different.
I have no idea. And that's kind of what's happened to us in the music business, because remember, it was like you had to get a record label. They gave you an advance. You bitched and moaned that you never could pay back the advance. And
Yeah,
and
totally
then,
changed.
Remember, I had a partner who was famous for pay to play. And he would go to radio stations and pay the DJs to play their music. And it was a federal, but it seemed like they cared more about corruption back then.
Yeah.
Because they literally went after radio stations for pay to play.
Yeah. So what happened in the adult business is it used to be kind of seedy and, behind the curtain and whatnot. But the products that they were turning out, a personal lubricant or a massage oil, was really horrible products.
Right.
And somebody, I'd like to think my wife was one of the pioneers, who said, why do the products have to be so horrible?
Right.
So we introduced lines of products that were actually good, that felt good on your skin. When you were done getting a massage, you didn't want to go in the shower and wipe it off because it felt so horrible.
And smelled really good, too.
smelled good. So we had enormous success, and the entire business has now changed. It's very mainstream. You can buy adult products now at Sephora. And when I say that,
it's crazy because
right,
you literally go into Albertsons now,
yeah.
and they have an adult section.
They do.
And you think to yourself, I grew up
Right.
the same time, at least you grew up,
Yeah.
when they had tampon commercials on TV. I was embarrassed
Right,
if my mom
right,
was in the room.
right. Now you go to Sephora and they've got toys. No, they really do, and I mean, they're tastefully in a box and set in a little in velvet and whatnot. But it is what it is still,
So
and
you
it's in
stick with
Sephora.
the massage oils.
We make personal
make
lubricant. No toys. It's
I
hard
was
to
gonna
manufacture. We don't go there. It's
What's
not
it like manufacturing? Because you and I are the people left in LA. I'm not moving the Canyon Club.
Yeah.
And you're not moving your manufacturing.
Nah, we're not moving. Yeah,
But
we're happy here
every
with
day-
all the challenges. And
every day.
we know what they are. Yeah.
I feel like the pandemic, and I realize we're here, but I think to myself, it's easier for me to move around as an independent than Live Nation or AEG, because even during the pandemic time, I would tell people, you don't understand. Well, you can open up this weekend. I was like, I had to book a band 6 months ago to know I was opening up this weekend. And no matter what I did, they would never understand.
You know what the bottom line is, and I bet you'll agree. I would rather make less money and live here. With all that I have to put up with, if I have to jump through all the hoops, and we do, you and I both know it, maybe that means it's more aggravation. It is. It's more aggravation. We make less money, still happier living
Well,
right
we
here.
had 13 venues at our peak. And that's when we realized that we were so big that the government knew about us, but the only limitation was no one could buy us because it would have created a monopoly.
Right.
Because the only reason LA has what it has is because of me and Gary Faulkner. Do you know Gary? He's Coach House.
Coach House.
Oh, okay.
Right.
You know,
okay.
Ron talks about him all the time.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
we're the only people that keeps LA in music, because
He's
outside of that,
Blake's
it
uncle.
would be all monopolies, and you'd have to go to Staples.
And thank goodness for
everything.
that.
Well, but I didn't realize, there's that famous statement that someone made to me when because way back when I had to ask permission was it okay for me to take over the Saban? And their response to me was, I made more money off my parking than you'll make in a year. And I thought to myself, it's because the bigger companies, they don't care about anything under 2,000 seats. To them
Interesting.
is a waste of their time, because they're making Ed Sheeran money with 70,000 people. And you look at that, 70,000 people at $100 is $750,000. And he's performing what, 200 times a year? And what day was it? Was it a Monday?
No, Saturday night.
It was a Saturday
but even
night.
still.
Hey, listen, I still have to do Fridays and Saturdays.
Yeah.
Because my Wednesdays I do for your kids. Like, all the parents don't want their kids driving into Hollywood, so I do borderline night here. We don't make any money, but it's good for the kids, because
for the
I'm really
community, too.
Well, I'm doing it for their parents,
It's good
because
for
their
the
parents
community,
support
yeah.
me.
Right. Exactly.
And like the Get Together Foundation, you have an event coming up here pretty soon, don't you?
We just finished one. Our next big get-together event is for Christmas. So
Kevin's
we have a little.
non-get-together event is this weekend.
Yeah.
That's the one. the Soft Rock Sunday.
Yeah,
is
we're
this
doing a
coming
Soft Rock
weekend.
Sunday
Where are you doing
thing.
Soft Rock Sundays?
Here,
Oh, here.
right there.
Oh,
That-
is this the daytime thing?
this
Yeah.
is the daytime
I
thing.
saw the ad on
But
it.
that's not get together. That's
You know
just
what?
a gig.
Me during bad economies, I'll tell you this because your brain is good. People want to do family events. I need to come up with weekend family events. And next year, I want to do a summer camp here.
Oh,
Well,
you just spoke to the right
yeah,
person.
we just,
A
we are
music ba-
summer camp
Could you
experts
imagine,
now.
You know, we are the midgets, the mighty midgets. Can you imagine if I got summer camp and I created bands?
Like a School of Rock kind of thing?
But I want to do it with schoolwork, but I don't want to
Not
charge.
with them, just
I
like
want to
them.
do it for underprivileged
Yeah, like
kids.
them.
Because the only thing I've learned in my experience, in my measly 50 years of doing this, is the skill of a band does not dictate whether they're going to make it. It has to do with their
Absolutely.
marketing and promotion.
Absolutely, and their infrastructure.
You've been listening to Where Music Meets the Soul. We'll see you next week.